You think solitude is the threat, don't you? That stillness, that cold whisper, crawling up your spine, when it's only you think it's some kind of punishment day sentence. But hear this clearly. Solitude isn't what you imagine. Solitude is blunt, it's fearless. It doesn't dress itself up as loyalty, just to slice you from behind. No, it shows up bare, unmasked and unapologetic. But those people, the ones you cling to, those hollow bodies with painted grins and empty phrases, they're the real toxins. See, when you're by yourself, you owe no one a performance, no roles to play, it's just you and that truth you keep dodging. And yes, that truth stings, it's merciless, but it belongs to you. Those people don't care about that truth. They only want someone they can drain, to avoid drowning in their own void, to siphon from like parasites. And the second you're empty, they vanish. That's all they ever needed. But when you stand alone, when it's only you and the quiet, there's force in that, there's muscle in knowing you don't need their approval to define yourself. They'll call you distant, they'll claim you're heartless just because you refuse to join their circus. Fine, let them. They couldn't last a moment in that hush, face to face with the echo of their own minds. They're terrified of themselves, want to hear the truth. Most people are petrified of being alone because deep down they know they're hollow too, and if they sit with that hollowness long enough, it'll swallow them whole. But you're not like them, you burn from the inside out. You don't need their fake comfort, their pretty lies. You can stand in the dark and meet whatever surfaces head first, and yeah, it'll bruise you, it'll rip you open, make you question your own bones. But that's where the real backbone grows, because while they're out there laughing, drinking, drowning their emptiness in noise and diversions, you're here becoming stronger. You're here forging yourself brick by brutal brick, and one day when they crawl back begging for the strength you built, they're going to meet someone untouchable, someone they can't bend, can't trick, can't own. So yes, let them label you cold, let them say you've hardened or snapped. Better to be sharp in truth than soft in deceit. Better to stand alone with your wounds than waste your fire on people who'd never stay long enough to watch you bleed. And when you rise for real, when you emerge from that silence as the creature you've become, they'll realize you never needed them, they needed you. Remember, solitude is a weapon. Teacher, it's the toughest one you'll ever face, but it's honest, it's the only thing that doesn't wear a mask. And when you embrace it, when you finally accept that solitude, that's when you become untouchable. That's when you become unstoppable. You know, people are funny. They think they got it all figured out. Relationships, friends, family, they think they can control it. Keep everyone close like life is one big party that never ends. But here's the thing, every single one of them, they're just playing pretend, and deep down they know it. They know that when the party ends, they're left with nothing, and that's what keeps them up at night, staring at the ceiling, afraid of the silence. That silence, it don't lie, it doesn't care about your games, your fake laughs, your empty conversations. It's just there, waiting, testing you, so you cling to people, to noise, to all those empty souls, just to fill that silence. But let me ask you, what happens when those people drift away? What happens when they turn their backs, when they disappear just like smoke? You're left with yourself, and that, my friend, is where the real fight begins. Cause now you're faced with a choice: keep running, keep screaming into the void, or face it head on. And believe me, most people, they'd rather drown in their own lies than face the truth of what they really are. You ever see a wolf in the wild? They roam alone, powerful, with scars all over, ain't afraid of anything, ain't trying to fit in with anyone. That's you, that's what you got to be when you're alone. You're the wolf in the dark, a force nobody can control, nobody can weaken. You become untamed, dangerous, but it's a danger with purpose. See, a wolf doesn't need permission to survive, it just does. It's born knowing that it doesn't need the pack to be complete, to be strong, and neither do you. But the world, though, they'll try to break you, they'll whisper that you're too hard, too cold, that you're missing out on life. But remember this, people only call you cold because you don't play their games, you don't dance to their tune. They hate that you see through the ACT, you see them for what they are, empty. They know it, and they can't stand it when someone sees the truth. See, that's the power of loneliness. It doesn't drain you, it forces you to look in the mirror. And when you do, when you truly face yourself, you see every flaw, every weakness, every piece that's been holding you back. And that's where the magic happens, cause now you're building yourself alone, without the crutch of other people. You're becoming more than what they see, more than they can understand. You think it's sad, now it's real. It's what makes you unstoppable while they're out there using each other, filling each other's ears with sweet little lies. You're here crafting yourself into something beyond them, a force, a machine that don't need anybody's approval to run. And when you rise, they'll be left looking up, wondering what went wrong, wondering how you got so strong. They'll never know the power of what it takes to be alone. So remember, alone ain't a curse. Alone is a gift, a razor sharp weapon they can't touch, and when the world comes knocking, begging for a piece of you, you'll know exactly who you are and exactly who doesn't belong. You think life owes you something, a little happiness, a few good friends, maybe someone who gets you, but life don't owe you nothing. Life is cold, brutal, and indifferent. You can scream, cry, do whatever you want, but it ain't going to hand you a single thing. And the sooner you understand that, the sooner you're free. You see, depending on people thinking they'll make you whole, that's the biggest lie people they'll make. Promises they'll say they're there for you, but when you're in that deep dark pit and you're screaming for a hand, you'll find yourself alone. So stop waiting. Stop thinking that someone's going to come along and save you. You're the only one who can pull yourself out. Embrace that's where the power lies, when you know that you got no one to fall back on, no one but yourself. You're forced to dig deep, you're forced to find strength in places you didn't even know existed, and that's the real power. That's when you become unstoppable. See, you think pain is your enemy, that loneliness is something to be feared, but those things, they're tools, weapons. You can use that pain, that isolation, to sharpen yourself, to carve out every weakness until there's nothing left but steel. But people, they're soft, they want comfort, they want safety, and that's why they'll never understand the kind of strength you're building. They're too busy looking for an easy way out, too scared to face what's inside. But you're different, you're the one who stands in the storm while they're all hiding, looking for shelter, and that's what sets you apart. 'Cause when the storm clears, you're the only one left standing. You're the one who survived, who grew stronger while everyone else stayed weak, hiding behind their lies and empty words. Look, I know what you're thinking. You think it's harsh, you think there's something wrong with walking this path alone, but think about it, what's worse? Being surrounded by people who don't see you, who don't know you, or facing that darkness alone and coming out the other side as something more. You're looking for realness, for something true, and I'll tell you right now, you won't find it in them. You'll find it in the silence, in the scars, and the battles you fight alone. So embrace it. Stop running, stop thinking you need anybody. You're all you've got, and that's more than enough. They can keep their lies, their fake smiles, their empty promises. You got something, they'll never have strength, real strength. And one day when they're still searching for something to fill the emptiness inside them, you'll already be complete. You'll be beyond them. And remember this, when you finally stand tall, when you finally become who you're meant to be, they'll try to come back. They'll see your strength, your power, and they'll want a piece of it. They'll say they've always been there for you, that they care, but you'll know the truth. You'll see them for what they are, empty, weak, and scared. And that's when you'll understand being alone was the best thing that ever happened to you. Look around, everyone's rushing to fill the silence with noise, desperate to feel connected, to belong. But most people, they don't even know what they're connecting to. They're just grabbing at shadows, pretending it's something real. They go through life surrounding themselves with faces, names, people who don't mean a damn thing. They'd rather fill their lives with fakes than face the emptiness within. But you're stronger than that. You don't need those faces, you don't need those masks. See, loneliness is not a curse, it's a test. It's the universe looking you dead in the eyes, asking, can you handle it? Can you take the heat, the pain, the silence, and come out the other side? Oh, most people, they can't. They're too scared of what they'll find if they stop running. They're terrified that if they're alone long enough, they'll see what's really inside. But you're not running, you're standing right there in the thick of it, feeling every bit of that emptiness, that ache, and that makes you more real than any of them will ever be. You're fighting battles they can't even imagine. You're standing in the middle of a war zone, but it's a war zone of your own mind, your own fears, your own doubts. And guess what? Every scar you earn, every wound you take, it's proof that you're alive, that you're growing, that you're becoming something more. Those scars, they're medals, badges of honor. They show the world that you can survive without anyone, that you don't need their fake love, their hollow words. You got yourself, and that's all you'll ever need. People always talk about wanting to be strong, about wanting to be resilient, but when it comes down to it, when they're actually faced with real pain, real loneliness, they crumble. They're quick to run back to comfort, to fake friendships, to empty relationships. They want strength, but they're not willing to pay the price for it. But you're paying that price every single day. You're building that strength, that resilience with every moment of silence, every second of solitude. You're doing the work. They're too scared to even start. Let them judge, let them call you whatever they want, cold, detached, heartless. Those words, they're just proof that they don't understand you. They don't get what it means to be truly strong. They don't know what it takes to stand alone in a world that's hellbent on dragging you down. They're too weak, too soft, and that's why they'll never have what you have when you finally emerge. When you step out of that darkness as the version of yourself you've been building in the shadows, they're going to want a piece of it. They're going to come crawling back claiming they were always there, that they believed belied in you, but you'll know you'll see through every lie, every fake smile, every outstretched hand, and you'll be able to look him dead in the eyes and say, I did this without you. I didn't need you then, and I sure as hell don't need you now. That's real power. That's the kind of strength they'll never understand. They think strength is about muscles, about control, about being on top, but true strength, it's about surviving the silence. It's about thriving in the darkness, about facing yourself and coming out the other side unbreakable. You've been walking that path, taking every hit, every scar, and turning it into armor. And one day when you're standing tall, untouchable, they'll look at you with envy. They'll see the power in your eyes, the fire they could never ignite in themselves. So let them talk, let them think they know you. They'll never know the battles you fought, the strength you've built. You're beyond them, you're something else entirely. And when you finally claim your place, they'll realize that being alone was the best choice you ever made. It was the path that led you to becoming something unstoppable, and they'll still be looking for themselves and other people, still trying to fill that void with nothing but shadows. Remember, alone ain't empty. Alone is freedom, alone is power, and you, my friend, you're more powerful than any of them could ever imagine. They'll tell you that you're heartless, that there's something wrong with you for choosing this path. They'll try to pull you back, drag you down to their level, trying to convince you that you're missing out on something, but you know what you're really missing out on. Nothing. You're dodging the games, the lies, the constant scramble for approval, your sidestep and the trap they're all caught in, that endless cycle of pretending to be something they're not, just to fit and see people like them. They're like moths to a flame, drawn to the warmth, even if it means destroying themselves just to feel a little bit of light. But you're the fire, you don't need to be drawn to anything. You're the one that burns, that lights the way. They come to you trying to steal a piece of that power, trying to bask in it for a little while, but they don't understand what it took to build that flame to become the force you are. They think it's easy, that they can just take it without paying the price. But here's the truth, they could never pay that price. They don't have what it takes to stand in the darkness, to face the void and come out stronger. They're too weak, too desperate for someone to hold their hand, to tell them it's all going to be okay. They don't get that real strength, real power. It's born in silence, in those moments when it's just you and your own demons fighting for every inch of ground. You're the one who took on that fight. You didn't look for an escape, didn't turn to anyone else to save you, and that's why you're stronger than any of them could ever hope to be. While they're wasting their lives running from the truth, you're embracing it. You're learning that you don't need anyone, that every bit of strength you have, every piece of power you build, it's all coming from within you. They'll never understand what that feels like, that freedom. You're breaking free from the chains they're still wearing, chains they don't even see. They're trapped thinking they need each other, need society, need validation, but you've torn through all that. You're seeing the world as it really is, and when you do that, when you stop needing anything outside of yourself, you become untouchable. And the irony, the very people who called you cold, who thought you were heartless, they're the ones who will come back desperate for a piece of that strength. They'll act like they always knew you'd make it, like they were with you all along, but deep down you'll know that every scar, every sleepless night, every second of silence that you survived, that was your journey. Alone they weren't there. They didn't see the battles you fought, the pain you endured, and that's the beauty of it. You owe them nothing. They'll talk about loyalty, about forgiveness, about all the things they think make a person strong, but you know better. You know that real loyalty is to yourself, real forgiveness, that's just letting go of their nonsense, moving forward without ever looking back. They think they deserve a place in your life just cause they're there now, reaching for a piece of what you've become, but they don't deserve anything. They weren't there when it counted, and when they see you, when they finally realize you're beyond their grasp, it'll shatter them. They'll see the strength, the power they could have claimed if only they'd had the courage to face themselves, but it'll be too late. They'll be stuck, still searching, still trying to find themselves in others, while you'll be complete, you'll be whole, you'll be untouchable. So keep going, embrace the silence, embrace the loneliness, let it shape you, mold you into something they can't even comprehend. And one day, when you've become everything you were meant to be, there'll be nothing but a memory, a reminder of what you left behind. You're building something real, something solid, something that no one can take from you, and that's what true power is.